Hey everyone, welcome to the second video of our new series of social with custom backend. In this video, we guys will be building up the authentication of our entire application, and the authentication will be consisting JWT and also Postgres for saving the auth data. Today, we guys will be only sending some JWT to the user, and with the help of JWT, we shall be able to decode and encode the user data. Also, before moving forward, make sure you guys follow me over my Instagram. And under my Instagram, I share all of my tips and tricks over some of the technologies such as JWT, what is your folder structure, how to get an internship, and all this stuff, right? So if you are on Instagram, you should definitely follow me. Also, if you are following social, I keep updating all the updates over the particular video when I will be uploading and all that stuff. So if you are on Instagram, kindly follow me at the following username of Abhishek itself. Alright, enough advertisement, let's get back to the video. Alright, so let me open my VS Code, and here till the previous video we have done the following thing. We have set up a basic server. So if I run my server one more time, let's go under my backend folder, and here if I say npm run dev, alright, so our server is working over 8000. Okay, let me make this thing down here, it will be more clear to you as well. Alright, so today we guys will be setting up the authentication, right? So for that purpose, first thing first, under our packages we need to get the package of JWT. Now the concept of JWT is simple. JWT means nothing but simply sending a string. A string will be containing 3 different parts, where I have explained this over my Instagram. Here you can see under the post of what the heck is JWT. Here you can see I have explained what is JWT and how you should be using it, right? Okay, we need to swipe it. And on this post I have explained what is JWT, right? So first of all, in easy word, JWT is nothing but simply a JSON web token, as I have explained this thing here. But under practical cases, JWT will be a string which will be containing all of our user data. The user data can be a user email, a user UID, some username, and all that stuff, right? And we will be securing the following user data under the JWT, and at the time of parsing some data from our server, we guys will be using the following JWT as our token. So first thing first, what we can do, we can stop our entire server, and onto our entire folder, you need to get certain dependencies that are packages. And the first package will be nothing but npm install JSON web token. Right, you need to get the entire package of JSON web token itself, that is JWT. Awesome. And after this, you also need to get the particular types of JWT. So for that purpose, you should be writing @types / JSON web token, or JSON web token. And at the end, you need to add a flag of save and dev and hit enter. Awesome. So once we have got our entire packages, what I will be doing, instead of manually writing everything under my app.ts file, I will be creating certain project structure. So first of all, under my source folder, I will be creating a folder called controllers. Right, now if you are from Flutter background, consider controllers to be the notifiers, that is the classes which will be holding up the particular action of sign up, login, decoding the user data, and all that stuff. Right, so after controllers folder, I will be creating a folder known as routes. Under this routes folder, I will be creating certain routes for certain use cases. For example, for authentication, for getting data back from our server, and all that stuff. Right, so for authentication purpose, I can go under my routes, and here I can say authentication.routes.ts. right, and under this file I can first of all import the type of router from my package of Express itself, right, and I can say a constant known as router, or let's say auth router, is equal to the following function. Let's call the following function of router. We can also export our router, so here I can say export auth router. Now what I can do, to access all of the routes that I will be declaring under my auth router, I can go back, and here I can say app.use, and here I need to provide here initial path. So here I can say user, and here I can say, okay, not a slash but comma, of auth router. Easy, this thing will be imported automatically. So now under the following use case, you can declare as many routes as you can. For example, I can say auth router dot, and here you can see you can use all the following methods, that is HTTP methods. For example, I can say a post request, or also I can add a get request. So for now, if I add a get request over home path, and if I add arguments of request and response, and if I throw here a new response, let's say response.send authentication routes, right? So let's show this function. So now if I run my server one more time, let's say npm run dev. Awesome. So now if I go to my browser, go to my localhost of 8000, alright, under localhost, if I check a new path, Let's check out a path one more time. Okay, it was a user. Easy. So I can say a user. Now here you can see I am getting the following route of authentication route, right, over to my user. But what I can do, if I go back and under my authentication route, let's say of login route, and if I say authentication routes for login, and if I save this thing right from here, and if I go back over to my server, and if I say /login, I will be getting the following path, that is my data of authentication routes for login, right? And also, if I remove my login from this side, you can see I am not getting the particular path for user. Now I hope you have understood how the following routing works under Express.js. Now what I can do, we can define some routes for our entire system. For example, we shall be having routes for login and also for sign up. And for that purpose, let's have some defined methods. So first thing first, under my controller, I can add a new controller known as authentication.controller.ts. Right, and under this I can define certain methods. First of all, I am gonna be having a new class, let's say authentication controller. Right, this will be my entire class, and under my class I will be defining certain methods for login and sign up and accordingly. So first thing first, I can define a synchronous method, let's say of sign up one, and under this I can throw an entire function. And to access the particular method under my routes, I need to make this method to be static one. So here I can say static asynchronous sign up method. And also I need to import some of the particular request and response from my Express. So here I can say import request and also import response from Express. Easy. So under my sign up, I can provide the following argument of request and response. So here I need to get the type of request to be request and the response to be a response. Easy. So what I can do, I can go at the top and import JWT. So here I can say import JWT from the module of JSON Web Token. Now what I can do, first of all, I can take the user input. So for user input, I can say let username, user email and a user password. We shall be requiring these three fields should be equal to request.body. Right, we are destructuring our entire map because our entire body will be a huge object, and from my object I am destructuring username, user email and also user password. Right, now what I can do, to access the particular method of JWTs, I can write here JWT.sign. Right, for creating JWT, you need to use the method of sign itself. And under my sign, you need to pass 3 arguments. Right, if I go to my post, okay, and here, as you can see, you need to provide 3 arguments, which will be header, payload and signature. Right, and as per that case, first of all, I can provide my payload to be a user email. Right, and after this, I need to provide here a secret key. And you know what? Instead of declaring my secret key publicly, I can go back under my backend folder, and here I will be creating a new file known as .env. Under my .env, I will be creating a new variable known as JWT secret key. And this thing should be having a value, let's say my super secret data. Right, you can have any sort of variable data, that is value of your variable of JWT secret key according to you. So what I can do, I can copy this thing and I can paste it at the top. So here I can say let JWT secret key should be equal to process.env, and from this I can get the following value of JWT secret key which is situated under my .env file. Right, so now what I can do, I can import the following thing as a string. Easy. Also, to get the access to a particular secret key from our .env, we need to take help from our module of .env. So here I can say import .env from .env. Right, and also now pay attention, we have imported the following dependency of .env in our first tutorial. So if you haven't seen the first tutorial, kindly watch it. So now I can say .env.config. Right, now we can go back here, and here what I can do, under a case of secret, I can provide my JWT secret key. After that, we need to provide some expiry time. So here under my expiry time, I can provide expiry time to be of 1 hour. And once I have provided everything, I also need a callback. So here I can have a synchronous callback. Under this, I will be getting some error under type of any and also some data under type of any. And here I can throw a new callback and I can take some value from my callback itself. Right, so first of all, if I got some error, I can say if I got error, I can return some response. Right, so here under a case of data, I can send the entire error, and here I can add a flag at the boolean of authentication to be false. Right, if I got any error. But if I won't got any error, that is if I don't get any error, I can send a particular data, and data will be nothing but entire data from our callback and also authentication to be true. Right, so this will be our entire use case. So this thing will be our payload. So here I can add a payload, and this thing will be our secret key. Right, and here this will be other thing, which will be our expiration, expiry time, and this thing will be our entire callback. Right, so this thing will be our entire use case for using JWT. So now let's try to use JWT. So to access this method, that is a sign up method, we need to export the following class. So here I can export the entire authentication controller. I can go back, and here let's add a post request over a sign up path. Right, and here we don't need this manual callback, but instead of this I can use authentication controller dot sign up. Right, I can use the sign up method. So now let's try it out. So for trying it out, I will be using Postman as a primary software for API testing. You can use Insomnia or the extension of Thunder Client according to you. Right, so let this thing open up. I can close this thing off, we don't need it. Okay, so here I can open my localhost. Okay, and under my localhost, it should be of 8000 our port, and here I can go to user path and also a sub path of sign up. I can send a post request. Right, so I can have a raw under JSON one, and here I can provide a user email. Right, so for now let's provide her a fake user email, which is okay, not a fake one, it is a real one. So here I can say email.com. so let's check it out. Okay, our server is restarting. Let's wait for it. Awesome. So now if I try to send a request, here you can see I will be getting the following data and also authentication to be true. That's because everything is working, and yeah, everything is working. Okay, so now you can see we are getting our JWT from this side. So now what I can do, I can go to my browser, and if I open the following site of jwt.io, let's go down, and here under following encoded, if I paste my entire JWT, here you can see, okay, here you can see I will be getting my JWT payload, which is my user email that we have just provided under our Postman. So if you are able to decode your entire data, congratulations, we have done a great job. We are successfully able to send a JWT to the user. Right, so now if I try to sign up one more time but having a different email, let's say Rohan, if I send a request, and if I try to copy the following JWT, let's go back and paste it here, the particular data will be changing, and also the issue time and also the expiry time. Now these two fields will be mandatory, that the issue time and expiry time will be mandatory, they will be boilerplated, but you can also play with the following user email according to you. That is the type of payload you need to provide. Right, so this is a way of providing JWT, that is sending JWT to the user. Now what we can do, we can also validate whether the particular user email was correct or not, and for that purpose I will be using a package known as email validator. So here I can say npm install email validator. Awesome. Also you need to install its types. So first of all, let's add a flag of save dev, and also I can add a types of email validator. Awesome. So once everything is done here, I can go at the top. Right, and here I can say import everything as email validator. Right, so let's have our email validator from email validator module. So now I can go at the bottom, and what I can do, first of all, I can validate the particular user email. So I can say is email validated, which will be a boolean, should be equal to email validator dot validate the particular user email. Right, and now I can say if the user email is not validated, I can send some different response. For example, I can copy the response from this side, I can paste it here. I can say authentication is false, and here I can say provide, alright, provide valid email. Right, this should be our entire user case. Let's work it out. So let's clear it out first, and here I can say npm run dev. Awesome. So let's go back to our Postman, and here if I remove the @ sign and send a request, you can see I will be getting the following message of provide valid email, and as soon as I provide the particular @ sign, I will be getting my data back. Right, so you should be using the particular package of email validator to validate your particular user emails. Right, so this was a way of sending JWT. Now let's take a look at how can we decode JWT. Right, so for that purpose, let's create a new method for decoding some data. Let's say under our entire social application we have some post, and we need to show some post to the user only when he has provided a particular JWT. right? So for that purpose, I can create a new static method. Let's copy the boilerplate from this side, right? And under this, I can say show post for now, just for showing you how to decode JWTs. So here I got some method of show post, and what I can do, if you check your Postman under the headers, there will be a tab, and under this you can provide an authorization key, and under this you can provide some JWT to access a particular data. Now what we can do, we can access the authorization tab. So for that purpose, I can say let token should be equal to a request dot headers dot authorization. All right, authorization, or where is authorization? Okay, authorization as a string. So once we have provided a particular token under our headers tab, we can access it as a token. Now what I can do, I can use jwt.verify method, and under my verify method, first of all I need to provide a token and also a secret key. So I can copy the secret key variable, paste it here, and provide this variable here. Now what I can do, I can have a new asynchronous callback, and under my callback, same usual thing, I will be getting some error and some data under type of any, and I can throw a particular response back. So first of all, I can copy the error callback. So here I can copy the error callback and paste it here, right? If you got some error, and also I can add a different flag of received, right? It should be a receive flag, and I can come out of my error block, and if I say if the following JWT is okay, I can say return that is response.send post should be equal to some data, right? So let's say we have a list of post, we can send it here. So list of post, and here I can say user data should be equal to the data that we will be receiving from our callback, right? So let's try it out. So first of all, we need to go under our router. I can copy this method, and here let's say show post method, it will be a get method. So I can add a get method or an empty path, right? Okay, add a path of post. So let's try it out. Awesome. So let's go back, let's duplicate the following tab, and here I can add a path of post, and here under my headers I need to provide an authorization, and I can first of all send a JWT, that is create a JWT. I can copy the JWT from this side and paste it under my authorization. Let's send a request now. Now you can see I will be getting my data back, that is post, some list of post, and also some user data. And from my user data, I will be getting my user email, that was rohan@gmail.com. But as soon as I remove the following authorization, and if I send a request, you can see I will be getting the following message of data to be a particular error and received to be false, right? And also if I provided some authorization, that is JWT, and as soon as I remove some value from it, let's say we remove some C from it, and if I send a request, I will be getting the data that invalid signature. But as soon as I write here C and send a request, I will be getting my post back. Now this is the power of JWT, and also along with this power, the particular JWT data will be expiring. And as soon as 1 hour will be excluded from our entire timing of our JWT, that's because we have provided an expiry time of 1 hour right here. After 1 hour, the particular JWT will of no use, the JWT will be expired, right? So this is a way of sending JWT and authenticating your user with the help of JWT. Now what we need to do, we need to save the particular user data, that is his user email, okay? User email, that is user email, username and user password under our Postgres database. And right now the tutorial has gone quite long, so we shall be saving user data of the user under next tutorial, and also we shall be creating a way for logging up the user with the help of JWT. Till then, if you have loved this tutorial, hit that like button. Also, if you are not following me over my Instagram, kindly follow there. I keep daily sharing all of the posts of internship and MongoDB. And alright, so I will see you day after tomorrow, and have a good day, have a good one. Goodbye.